It's your boy and Guru in the house, back with another bang on video. Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a video we're gonna have! Unbelievable. Dendonis bio skills David Ornstein's career as a journalist, but more importantly, what's the truth? What is it? We'll talk about it, but more importantly, we are actually here for AFC Bell's latest superb, distinctive, and super elaborated report on Arsenal's coming transfer windows. The business that we're going to do, of course, we're going to talk about the January transfer window, and of course, we're going to talk about the summer transfer window. So we are really going to have a lot of fun today because finally, AFC Bell has actually given us a big chunk of news, and we are going to discuss in detail about it. So without any further ado, Dendonis Ceballos replies to David Ornstein. David Ornstein yesterday tweeted out the tensions boiled over in Arsenal training Friday as Luis hits Ceballos on nose with scratch drawing blood. So Dendonis Ceballos retweets that immediately yesterday and retweets with the quote, fake. That is exactly what Ceballos thinks on the whole thing. So yes, ladies and gentlemen, Dendonis Ceballos clears the air about the whole situation. So David Ornstein in the big pit of mud. But guess who's back at Arsenal? Gabriel Martinelli is back in training, in full training, ladies and gentlemen. We expected that day to happen in between of December, but the guy is already here before the end of November. Gabriel Martinelli is back in training, but only him is Pablo Mari and Gabriel Martinelli, both with the rest of the group here. So yes, they're here. They are really the best thing to happen. I'm waiting to see both of them on the pitch, by the way. But moving on, let's talk about some other stuff. Let us talk about Bukayo Saka. He tweets out, God's child. He actually loves England. So yes, Bukayo Saka is living the dream. But the big question which comes up is his fitness. So yes, we're going to talk about that as well. But not in this video. But moving on, let's talk about it because sacked Arsenal backroom staff sells his club memorabilia for some good money. Now, former Arsenal backroom staff Paul Johnson has auctioned off his amazing collection of Arsenal shirts and memorabilia. Now, he worked at Highbury and the Emirates for more than 30 years, 30, and he was let go by the club in 2018 as they prepared to usher in a new era. He was the travel and equipment manager at the club, and his position gave him the chance to amass a huge number of club items, including player jerseys and even medals for that matter. So, he has, however, now decided to sell them off and claiming that he had fallen out of love for the club. So he was also burgled a few years back and wanted to make some money from the remaining items. So the most expensive item of them all was that 2014 FA Cup winners medal, which fetched £9,000. He made a combined total of over £100,000 from the sale because the guy he had winners and runners-up medal from the FA Cup, Champions League, Carabao Cup, and Community Shield raised £30,800 alone, 30. Yeah, the guy has earned. So now, the moment of truth, the moment of despair, the moment of real knowledge. We are going to talk about the AFC Bell report on Hosam Aouar. He actually tweeted out, Hosam Aouar will adopt a main file to cover this coming summer. Why didn't the deal happen last summer? Why are we covering the file now? What are Arsenal's chances of signing Dominic Szoboszlai and everything? Here we go. So the reality is that Arsenal, this is what AFC Bell actually tweeted out posted this information on their official website. They said the club is inquiring about Dominic Szoboszlai and is preparing for another round in the signing struggle with Hosam Aouar. 40 days separate us from the winter transfer window and a few months that transform us from the summer window. There are many variables and few constants. What is taken for granted at Arsenal is that the goal is clear, specific and precise, to add creative elements to the current squad. Edu Gaspar sang about Thomas Partey's deal and the great and hard work he did behind the scenes to settle that deal, and he was right to do so, but as soon as the summer transfer window expired, he began to prepare for what is coming. The window of January and beyond, work began in full swing to sign one of or more names to consolidate the deficiencies and weaknesses of the current team. A source familiar with Arsenal's approach and system is in selecting their goals in the transfer windows told Arsenal Bell, AFC Bell, I'm sorry, that the club led by Edu on the field had cut more than 80% of the way to sign its goals last summer by February. How was this done? Arteta and Edu know the importance of reaching the named goal early, the source says. The field scouts team in advance, and the video room and stats staff will, with most of the time, make recommendations to Arteta and Edu, who in turn choose the most appropriate and effective names for the club's current plan, style, and philosophy. The next step is to send indirect messages to and from the named player's camp via an intermediary. It may be a business agent with a close relationship with the player and his team, or a former Arsenal star who has acceptance in the player's environment, or the like. So they do this indirect things as well. Either an Arsenal legend tweets about the player that get him, something like that. It is all indirect ploy. Arsenal is studying well the human factors affecting the player and his surroundings. Added the source, Arsenal legend Kanu was a mediator used by Arsenal to feel the pulse of the Partey camp on more than one occasion because of the popularity and love of the family members there. Kanu played an important role at the behest of Edu, who chose his ambassador well on that occasion. So yes, Edu is smart in getting his players. Also, from that point on, Arsenal opened communication channels with Jose Gimenez and Thomas Partey. The telephone conversations developed into an invitation to attend a match at the Emirates Stadium during December. This was followed by goodwill meetings at Isabel's restaurant in the capital, London. And there in that restaurant, on that avenue, the two parties shook hands on the promise of Edu to complete the deal, even if the matter caused the payment of penalty clause, which happened exactly in the end. Now, before the club did the penalty clause on the 5th of October 2020, there were very critical and sensitive stages such as the FA Cup final, in which Arsenal's final treasury, which like other clubs have been affected by the crisis. That victory gave Arteta a balance of confidence in the meeting that took place the following Wednesday with the contracting team. Stan Kroenke decided to support Arteta with his own method of appointing Tim Lewis, who helped reorganize the club's debts, freeing up more than 30 million cash reserves in the club's safe and approximately 10% of the interest paid to banks annually as part of the debt repayment agreement. Now, this move nearly provided the amount needed to pay Thomas Partey's release clause in one go. Now let's talk about the future. Arsenal might have been able to sign Houssam Aouar with an offer close to that stature, but the move by Partey, in addition to being the move to goal number one, is a move to preserve the weight of the word and promises made by the club to various players in the future. Now, after the club provided Thomas Partey and his surroundings with a guarantee, and Thomas specifically refused any offer from any club in respect of the word of honor to Arsenal, Edu, the issue was more than just a passing deal. It's a deal that preserved the status and image of Arsenal in the orbit spherical players. Now, let's talk about more stuff. There were many reasons mentioned in the media about the reason for the failure of Houssam Aouar's deal. Now, many rumors circulated on social media about the greed of one of players' relatives and his request for a huge sum as part of the deal to facilitate its conclusion. As we said, Houssam Aouar's brother. We did not have call to prayer inside the players' camp to inform us about some of these unknown details, but one of our sources in Thomas Partey's camp was always telling us that the club told them that it was keen to sign Aouar, and the interest was serious and one of the club's priorities, and that Thomas's deal would be placed. The shelf is a period of time so that the club can decide on Houssam's story first before closing the Thomas deal. We have hinted that on more than one occasion. Now, the message that was coming to us from our source is that Thomas's deal is settled and will not need to sell any of the players to provide liquidity. Rather, Aouar's deal is fundamentally dependent on selling one or two players, which is what Arsenal was not able to do it, right? So for this reason and other clues, and after a preliminary assessment of the situation, Arsenal Bell crew decided to make Houssam Aouar the main file for next summer. There is no guarantee and no assurance that the deal will happen 100%, but there are facts and well-documented reports last summer from France, and information we have received from those we trust gives at least a glimmer of hope that the player will be focused of attention again in the next summer for Arsenal. Now, of course, the player will be the focus when we all know that if Arsenal could get Champions League so that they have a better budget, or again support by the owner Stan Kroenke, or relying on considerable profits from the sale of some players. In any case, the file will undoubtedly be active, but if it does not succeed, the club will naturally have alternative plans. Is it too early to talk about it? Let's talk about the next one. In the coming January transfer window, which is only a few weeks from us, the club aims to strengthen the current squad, especially in terms of building and creating opportunities and giving the scarcity of influential players. And the availability of Dominic Szoboszlai's option represents a golden opportunity. So Arsenal are actually looking for it. They say that Arsenal is very impressed with Dominic Szoboszlai's profile, and it is natural to see that his penalty clause of 24 million that he can pay, that Arsenal can actually pay in 3 installments. Market theft. Sources from within the Hungarian players' business agency office confirmed the arrival of an enquiry from Arsenal, who registered genuine interest in the player and opened communication channels with his agent Matthias Esterhazy. The London club is not alone in the race. There is AC Milan, which was around the corner on more than one occasion from signing with the player after agreeing to the broad terms of personal conditions. And there is Real Madrid spectrum that appeals to every player, and there Leipzig and many others. So, Arsenal are really interested in Hosam Aouar in the summer, but more importantly, it's Dominic Szoboszlai in which Arsenal are interested in the January transfer window itself. Do join me in the live wherein I'll actually expose and everything about Arsenal's future transfer targets. And yes, tonight's video is more elaboration on why exactly Arsenal want Dominic Szoboszlai. We will also talk about more stuff like Ousmane Dembele. It is going to be a very, very exciting thing to talk about. Stay tuned and watch all the videos that are actually coming on this channel. If you're an Arsenal fan, if you're not even an Arsenal fan, if you see daily Arsenal news and would want to be a part of our chill live stream, do join in. It is 7:30 p.m. Indian Standard Time. I will see you in the next one, and don't forget to subscribe. Cheers.